Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Just kidding, it's a podcast, not YouTube. Welcome back to OK Mom. I'm a co-host, Vanessa Fraser, and I'm here with the other co-host, the beautiful Lissa. Hello, Lissa.
Beautiful. Yeah, I feel beautiful. I was just thinking I look like Cousin It today, and then I thought you wouldn't understand that reference.
But I do.
Okay.
Da-na-na-na. Da-na-na-na.
Lag.
That's hard to do because there's a bit of a lag, so we're snapping at two different. And how are you doing? How has your week been?
It's been good. I've had a good week. It's been busy. I had a great night last night, but I'll tell you about that in a bit. I want to hear about your week.
My week is less enthusiastic. My week has been a lot of lows this week, actually.
Oh, tell me about them.
Well, the 18-month-old is going through the 18-month sleep regression right now and teething at the same time. So it's a lot of screaming all day long, a lot of crying before naps, crying before bed, and it almost feels reminiscent of the newborn days again.
Oh, so you're not sleeping?
No, it's making me very, very tired. And the 3-year-old is now waking up at 5 a.m. and coming into bed with us and wanting to party and watch TV and play games. So, yeah, I've had a sore back and neck for the last week, and I thought it was because of the pillows. Just randomly, I was like, wow, my age is really catching up with me this week. And then this morning, she dive bombed onto half of my body, and I realized, oh, it's the weight of a 3-year-old charging into my bed and having no spatial awareness.
When do they get spatial awareness? Is that a thing?
I don't know, maybe 40? I think. Oh. I don't think I have it.
Okay, great.
I don't know anything about kids. I just have them.
Well,
so it's been...
No. You knew about the 18-month sleep regression. I'd never heard of that.
Well, that's mainly because it's been going on for the last week.
Oh, I thought it might have been going on since time began and there were babies. But okay, you invented it last week.
No. In our household, it's been going on for the last week, maybe a couple days extra. And I signed on to Facebook, and on my Facebook feed for the Canadian moms group that I'm in for the younger one's age, one of the other moms was like, is there something happening right now? Like leaps, bounds, what is going on? Because we're losing it over here. And all of the comments underneath it were like, us too. And finally someone was saying, oh yeah, there's a big sleep regression at 18 months. All of us were like, oh, light bulb. Okay. So they're not just demon children. There's an actual reason. Great.
So what's happening physiologically with them? Like it just a growth spurt and it sets them off. They can't sleep. What happens?
Yeah, I know. I looked into the last sleep, which was a couple months ago, and it was something about patterns, but I think it's abilities. It's because she's now climbing on the couch, which she hasn't done before. She's now doing a lot of talking and pronouncing more consonants than she was before.
Even with you for a mom, she's pronouncing consonants?
Yeah, I know.
Oh my gosh.
I speak very clearly to them. To everyone else, no one can figure out what the hell I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'm
that
just
was
lazy.
So...
I don't want to put the
acceptable.
effort into it.
Yeah, pronouncing that T or, those hard consonants, like they're so much work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. With the amount that I talk, yes, they are.
Okay.
Yeah.
So keep going.
My day job was threatened for a couple weeks.
What,
so that
like
was a little scary.
Up against the throat or like,
yeah.
How does a day job
like
threatened?
Well, so my boss that I'm contracted out from was up against other people for bids for his job. And if he were to lose his job, then I were to lose my job. And then I got the news, I think Monday, that I still am employed, which is fantastic. Excellent. It was a big relief. That was very scary for a while there. What else?
That's a good thing.
Yes, that's my major win of the week. I decided to expand my blog and was going to do a bit of a redo of it to make it a little nicer because I just put together, I have no idea what I'm doing when it comes to WordPress. So I hired someone on Fiverr. They majorly messed it up. And then my stepdad, who is a web designer, had to come in and reverse a lot of stuff they did. Your husband had to reverse.
Does he ever know that he's our hero? He's everything I would like to be. Okay, I'll stop.
All right. So, yeah, I had to get him to put some of his stuff aside so that he could spend a couple hours reversing all that. And moving forward, he's going to help me, which is a great blessing because I can't afford him. He is very expensive as a web designer. And he also doesn't have the time, which I know because as my boss, he is the one who is always busy and giving me work so that I'm always busy.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It was a week. It was just every day there was something else. I'm very grateful for my family for stepping up and helping me and you out.
Holding you up. Yes. Mm-hmm. On a pedestal.
It's been stressful. It's been just kind of like a punch after another punch after another punch. You try to get ahead and just something knocks you back, and it's very frustrating.
Wow. Well, you look great. You look like you've slept. You know, your hair's pulled back. You look like you're in control. But your face is saying something completely different. Like, are you out of your freaking mind? Look at me. Really look at me.
Yeah. I'm making eye contact with you. Like,
you can't. Because you can't make eye contact with me because my hair is like covering my head fully, like Cousin Ed.
You look beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Are you guys coming out of the gray zone? Are your hair people opening up and stuff?
I don't think the hair people are opening up, but I heard something about gray. And yes, my hair is now fully gray. So yes, I would like to make a hair appointment. Is that what you're getting at? Are you criticizing my hair?
No, awful. I'm just really excited because for the first time since Christmas, we're heading into the red zone, which means that I get to go to HomeSense, I get to go to Staples and get this computer situation sorted out. I get to go to Winners. I don't get to go to IKEA because we don't have one here, but I am itching for it because I've got a cart full of things I need you to pick up. So I need us to get further past red so that you can actually come and visit. Bring me all the IKEA things that I need.
Right. And rent a truck, apparently. It's a transitional time, I guess, furniture-wise, and trying to accommodate a 3-year-old and an 18-month-old with beds, etc., that they can grow into. And yeah, IKEA is good for that because you can hand it down as long as it's not made out of wood or particle board, because that stuff just can't recreate that. No. But yeah, metal beds, sure. That'll be fun.
Yeah. I want to decorate. Really wishing IKEA does sponsorships. That's the other thing that's going on is we're currently trying to figure out a way to upgrade our housing situation. So I've been in contact with a realtor back and forth, the one who sold us this house, trying to figure out what houses are available, where we can go, what we can do. We bought this house as a foreclosure, so we underpaid a lot by it, and it is completely paid off. So there's a lot of pros and cons to moving, but because we have a 3-year-old and an 18-month-old, our backyard is entirely an in-ground pool. So
which
there's nowhere for them
to kill for.
And I am very sad to let it go. I love this pool. If it was heated, it would be even better. All I want to do every summer day when it's nice is just be in the pool. But my partner works so much that it's challenging
because he's the guy who has to clean it all the time.
Yes, he also has to clean it all the time. But when you have 2 babies that don't know how to swim, you kind of need a mano strategy for them in the pool. There's a lot of days that we weren't using it because it was just me and I'm too scared to care for 2 babies in a pool.
Oh, I have a solution for that. Why don't you hire a pool boy and you can call him mano a mano, and I'll come and visit and watch.
You know, I'm really down. I'm really okay with that idea. I think a pool boy would be excellent. What are we talking, like bronzed and muscular?
Whatever, as long as they know how to cook.
We've been in quarantine so long, doesn't even matter.
Yeah, no. You just get to a certain age and none of that matters, really. It's like, he's got a head and 2 arms and 2 legs. It doesn't even have to be fully, whatever. Okay, I'll stop.
But yes, so we do want to, I'm not thrilled about going into a mortgage after having a house that's paid off. That part kind of stinks. But the idea of starting over and having actual drywall instead of wood paneling would be fantastic. The girls can each have their own room, even better. So when we go through days of teething, like the 3-year-old last night came out and she was like, oh my gosh, why is she crying so much? And ended up falling asleep in our bed for the first time in months. The younger one just wouldn't stop crying.
Aww.
So I'm excited for them not to share a room. I'd love to get outdoor play structures for them to have and have grass that they can roll around in. That's kind of where we're at. So trying to sort that out in the housing bubble that's going on right now is a little much.
Right. Okay. So I can come up and decorate?
Yeah. We're starting to kind of figure out what we want to do with this house, because when we bought this house, the firstborn was 9 months. My hormones had not settled yet when I picked all the paint colors. Mm-hmm. My living room is jean jacket blue. But
is it?
that's what it's called.
Oh,
that's
okay.
The name of it. The bedroom is like a midnight blue. The girls' room is like a bright lavender, and the bathroom is a powder sky blue. So we have to tone all these things down, bring it back to a normal looking home. Yeah. I do like bold colors though in a house. You have one room that has a bold color.
Yes. It's Georgian Bay blue. It works really well with the tone of the wood furniture. So there's they harmonize. They're really pretty together. I love it. And I remember Jay and I were telling the painter that this was the color he wanted. He's like, it's like little boy's room. I'm like, sure. And he says, you're going to hate it in like 2 weeks. And we do not hate it. We're thinking of using it up north, because it's just such a deep, tranquil blue. It's not like it's more like a sea or a Georgian Bay or northern lake blue rather than a tropical. Mm-hmm. And yes, that was my big error, because my office was that sickly blue. It's sort of a tealy aqua blue. And I thought, I just love this color. I want it all around me. But no, I didn't. Mm-hmm. So now it's Intense White by Benjamin Moore, and it is like a gray, but it looks gorgeous against like a cloud white trim. It's just one of those, it just feels much better than the blue. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you're going to go out and get Intense White, and you're going to get cloud white for your trim. Mm-hmm. Your money tree looks fantastic though. So that's a good thing. Hopefully
it's a sign of things to come.
Yeah.
We'll have tons of money to buy a house.
I notice you're getting sunshine. We're getting sunshine. So it sort of helps lighten the mood. I feel like spring may be just around the corner, not too far off. Okay. So I have to tell you about my night last night.
Yes,
my evening.
Please do.
Okay. So some people just have this amazing gift of hospitality, and I can fake it once every 5 years, but that's all I got. And former neighbor Kate, who's still in the neighborhood, put together a virtual wine tasting, which I thought was the most clever thing. It was fantastic. She worked with the Grange Winery in Prince Edward County, which is not too far. We did a porch pickup, and we each got a little kit that she made so beautiful. It was 3 little boxes, and in one was the wine tasting kit, which came in little tiny vials, and it was really well put together. All the little bottles had different wines in them, so it was just a little taste, but they all said, drink me. And on the back, it described what the wine was and the tasting notes. But what really impressed me was Kate went over and above that. She went and personally hand-selected different cheeses and edibles that would go with it. Not that kind of edibles. Really good stuff. No, there was like a blue cheese and an Irish cheese and a camembert, and just beautiful. So each wine came with a pairing. There was a little pile of grapes, some roasted almonds, and a couple of little crackers. So it was like this little kit, and it looked so cute. So I'm going to put a picture up on our on our blog so people can see it. But they also had Amy Hutchinson, who came online on our Zoom call, and she was hosting the tasting, and she's from the winery and lives out where the winery is. And she was fantastic. Like, she taught us a lot about fruit forward and tannins and, you know, harmonizing the flavors. But what really impressed me was that Grange Winery is run by a mother and daughter.
Oh,
yeah.
That's cool.
I thought so. The mom started the winery from scratch. And over 20 years has learned about vineyards, and everything is done on the premises. So it's like an estate winery where everything is done. And the wines were excellent, really tasty. And Amy was a fantastic host, and she was doing 3 wine tastings last night.
Wow.
So, yeah, and some of them are like for groups of 40. So they forward you the box of wines, and then they talk you through it. And it had a little glass, like a little tasting glass. And even their logo is beautiful. It has 2 hands going in different directions, like the mother-daughter, that also form into birds. And there's a little vine that runs through it, I guess it explains that the wine will go on from generation to generation, passing through different hands. So
wow.
It was a totally lovely idea. And it was perfect for a group of women on a Saturday night so that we didn't have to watch true crime stories on television.
And you know what? As you said, Kate is absolutely one of the best people at hosting and putting together all those things. She did the catering for my baby shower.
Yeah.
People still mention it. The charcuterie board she put together was amazing.
Well, I thought the best part of that was the porn or childbirth quiz.
Where we ruined the neighbor's daughter. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I still can't believe that it's a funny story, but at the same time I still feel guilty about it because I was the one that was like, can we please do this? You ran it by my grandmother to say, just so you know, we're going to play this game. And she was sitting beside my friend Jake, and my friend Jake was in shock because Oma was getting all the answers right. And this is a game where, so you get pictures of people's faces, of women's faces, and you have to figure out if the woman in the photo is in porn or if she's in labor.
Well, if she's in the throes of ecstasy or if she's in the throes of giving birth.
Right. And our neighbor came, and her daughter, how old was she at the time? Maybe 9?
No, 7. I don't think
she was that young. I think she was
maybe 8,
like preteen. But
it didn't even occur to me that she was, of course we invite her in, and yes, it's fun. We're going to do these fun things. And it never occurred to me until we were already playing the game. Yeah.
And she whispered to her mom, "What's porn?" And all of us there just went white as ghosts. And we were like, oh, no. And then in the kitchen, there was a game of pin the sperm onto the uterus.
Well, no, the egg. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It was the uterus.
And it
was a blindfold game, and it was magnets, right? Like,
it was super fun. It was a great shower. Truly. So many people had such great things to say about it. I loved it as well because I procrastinated opening presents because of my anxiety until the end. So only, I think, 5 or 6 people. So many people got really drunk. And it was just a really fun time. I just wanted it. We had a mimosa section.
Yes.
We had a candy bar. The food was amazing. There's sliders, charcuterie. And the thing is, for me, who doesn't want a wedding, doesn't need to get married, would rather have a good party like that, it was everything. And the only downside was that days before this, I was diagnosed with gestational diabetes, which meant that the candy bar was off limits. I could only have a little piece of cake. I was pregnant, so I couldn't eat a lot of the charcuterie board with the meats and the cheeses. Couldn't have mimosas. I did have a slider, sans bun. But it was so enjoyable watching everyone do that. And Kate was a huge part in putting that together. And I will forever be grateful. It was a great party.
Oh, yeah. She doesn't know how to do things part way. We were even saying that last night. Kate, you go full speed, full ahead, and she just does a fantastic job. So she was drinking before the pre-wine tasting. She made a gimlet, and I'm like, huh? What is that? Because it was purple. And she was using a purple gin, and it's equal parts gin with lemon. What's it? Can't remember what it's called, but it's a lemon drink that you put in.
Like a simple syrup?
No, well, yeah, probably. But it has a name, and it's not lemon bitters. It's, oh, crap. Anyway, she was having this drink, and you put cucumber in it and a little piece of mint, and it's just supposed to be really refreshing. And I thought, oh, that's a great idea for summer. So I've already lined up what that is once I figure out what the lemon stuff was.
It's on the list.
Yeah.
That's okay. She listens, so this will be a good reminder for her to tell you what it's called.
Then we'll put up the recipe on our blog. I want to bust a myth. I'm determined to set things straight. It's not learning.
Whoa.
It's not learning. It's just,
this sounds pretty serious.
Yeah, it is, because people think red velvet cake is a thing, that it's a flavor, and it's not. It's cake that's been dyed red. And people don't realize that to dye anything red, you have to use red dye number 2, which is a cancer-causing agent. And I don't think people should be eating red velvet cake. It doesn't taste like anything.
This is your official PSA. Put down the cake.
Yes. Stop with the red velvet. It's not a thing. It looks like a thing, and you sound like you know what you're talking about when you say it's a thing, but it's not a thing. Have you got any of those in your life?
A red velvet?
No. Things that everybody believes is so amazing, and it's really just not. You can't say eggs.
Eggs are gross. Don't eat eggs. They make you sick.
No, they don't.
Okay, they make me sick.
Yeah, okay.
I'm allergic to eggs, which my mom, for some reason, forgets quite frequently.
Here, have an egg salad sandwich.
Like the year that you were like, only for lunch it's quiche at Christmas. And I was like,
Yeah, but they were cooked. It's not like I'm giving you raw eggs.
Well, no, I'm allergic to both. Cooked and raw. Don't suggest eating raw eggs, though some muscle guys do. For me, it's the protein powder. And the supplements. I know people who swear by them. Like, they just cause lumps and bumps and hormonal changes and things like that. And I just, that's usually my PSA, is like, get your protein in other ways.
Yeah, I worked with a guy who I always thought he must have roid rage, because he was, building, and
bodybuilding.
He was just cranky, like always cranky. And I thought, oh, that can't be good. I'd be like, eat something.
Well, see, and I've been rewatching Vanderpump Rules. That Lisa Vanderpump, former housewife of Beverly Hills, and one of her restaurants, Sir, had a spin-off show based off of the people who work there. I'm obsessed with it. I love the show. Recently rewatched all of the seasons. And there's a guy on there named Jax, and he's built. He loves going to the gym, and he kept getting lumps on his chest, and they weren't sure if it was cancerous and there's a whole storyline about it. And then his ex-girlfriend went to his house and started dumping out all of his supplements and protein, and he had like a cupboard full, and they're expensive. And so many things in life will cause you issues, but I don't understand that one. I'm also not someone who goes to the gym, so
right.
Let me say that. I'm not of like top health and saying don't do this. I'm just saying I don't understand it.
Right. I think anytime you try to alter your body, you're fighting against your own nature. And it's going to eventually become what it has to become. That's why I'm justifying my COVID-20.
My extra tire is supposed to be here.
Yes.
See, and
I earned it.
So I've been looking recently into the Peloton treadmill, and I don't know if I want to drink the Peloton Kool-Aid. I have a friend who got the bike and had a horrible time actually having it delivered, but she's very much a big fan of the bike, and you can do live classes and things like that. I would much prefer a treadmill than a bike. I'm just not a bike person, but they're super expensive. But I keep thinking about it. It's been on my mind. I keep looking up videos of people using it.
Well, I've watched some of the commercials and stuff for it. And of course, it's all these very fit people who are on these bikes and they're doing the most exhausting level of fitness, in a live thing. But I get it because today we can't get into gyms as much as we used to be able to. And it makes sense to have something nearby. But I've also seen bikes that end up being clothes hangers. They just sit in a corner in the bedroom and they're like the clothing rack. The easiest thing we can do, as my mother would say, is walk. Just get out and walk because you get fresh air in your lungs and you move. And I always loved my bike till somebody took it to a party and it never came back.
Daniel.
No. Nice try. I missed that thing.
Was me.
It was like $100 bike. It was like a cheap Canadian Tire or whatever it was version of a bike, but I loved it. It went everywhere. I did hills in, the northern United States. I was north in Canada, all over the place. And now I finally have another bike. So I am so excited.
Because I was just about to offer to give you $100 to buy a bike so we don't talk about this story anymore.
No,
that happened 16 years ago. I just did the math.
So I went without a bike for 16 years because to just show you.
I would have happily bought you a new bike in my 20s if I knew that this was still a sore spot. I apologize that you've been holding on to this rage for so long.
Well, okay, and I have a funny story about the new bike. Our neighbor up north has everything. He's just one of these people that if you need a tool or some mode of transportation, he has it. And Jay was visiting, just hanging out one day, and he said, look, I have a bike. It's a woman's bike. It was his mom's. She passed away, and she actually took up biking in her 70s and 80s. So she loved it. Yeah, she was a really phenomenal person. She learned how to swim in her 70s, and I think she started teaching swimming or something like that to young kids. And he said, I will sell you the bike for $100. And Jay was like, holy smokes, it's a great bike. Of course. Yes. And he said, okay. So he came over and got me. I went over and he said, okay, but I have a deal. I will sell you this bike for $100. Or you can have this extra bike, which was his dad's. It was probably from the 60s. It was just like a low gear, one gear fits all kind of bike. And he said, if you buy both bikes, I'll sell them to you for $80. No, my kind of math.
Huh?
So we bought both bikes. So
one bike for $100 or both bikes for $80?
Yeah, basically get them out of
He should not be an auctioneer.
Right. But he's a super great guy. And I love the bike. I mean, I was riding it right up until the weather got bad, winter set in.
Well, that's the problem here with walking and things like that, is that it's much nicer to walk when it's not minus 25 outside. That's kind of where I'm at with I would love to have a treadmill or a bike or something that I can just get up before the girls, get a workout in, and then feel better for the day. Because that's one thing with the cabin fever and being in lockdown and everything. I'm just so bleh all day long.
Okay, do you remember when? Do you remember when you were a little girl? I had a step, and I would get up first thing in the morning while you were still sleeping and use a step in a video, and just loved that. And you insisted that you wanted to have your own step. So you went up and told your dad, I need a step.
And so we made one together.
You made one together, out of wood. And it was just sort of a couple inches off the ground. But you'd be out there doing the step with me. And you're right. It's first thing in the morning. It just sets the tone for the rest of the day. It's such a good thing.
I just need to find 90s workout VHSs now.
Yeah, no, they were fantastic.
And a leotard.
Yeah, well, no. No.
A leotard with tights underneath. That's what I need. And armbands.
No, I didn't do that.
Sweatbands.
No.
And a scrunchie. That's what I need.
Get physical.
See, I'm one of those people, though. I feel like I need every element to something before I start it. And that's the problem. For working out at home, you really just need floor base and someone telling you what to do. Truly. But even that, I'm like, no, I need a yoga mat, and now I need yoga blocks, and oh wait, I hate yoga. Okay, now I need to meditate for my mental health. Oh no, I hate meditating because I've just spiraled in my brain. Like so I feel like if it's something as simple as a treadmill with a video of someone telling me what to do, I would just be like, all right, cool, let's do it. But again, they're $3,000. So
yeah, well, and I'm sure like they've sold out like crazy because of the pandemic, but it's something to look forward to in the future. If it's something you want, save for it.
Mm-hmm. That's how I do things financially now. I don't just run out and grab stuff. I actually save for it. Fun
I know.
fact.
Okay. Yeah. No,
There's a whole Etsy shop about it.
Of course. So you actually taught me something about finances because I'm very poor at it, and which is really a horrible thing because my mother is the most organized financial person I've ever met. She saved and bought everything for her children. Like she made sure that we didn't do without. We were always involved in different sports and ballet and swimming and stuff like that. That was her, I don't know, she oversaw all that to make sure that we had it. But now you follow a specific method. So what is that? Dave somebody.
Yeah. So I found Dave Ramsay, decided to try his baby steps, which is a system that he put in place for people to follow to make themselves be self-made millionaires by the end of the steps. I'm having a hard time with it. So I've been following it for the last year. I would say in the last 6 months or so, as a person, I lost a lot of respect for him, just in ways that he's handled the pandemic and things that he's said. And he's very much closed-minded, and I don't agree with things that he's done as a person. Let me just say that. However, I actually really like his financial advice. And this is kind of how I am with a lot of things, is that I'll pick and choose what works from a teaching that someone has done, because he doesn't believe in credit. He thinks cash is king. Everything needs to be cash based, because in his mind, why should you need a loan? You're planning for everything. Don't take a loan so you don't need credit. But for some things you need a loan, like for a mortgage, you're gonna pay less in the long run if you have good credit. That's kind of the thing that I am ignoring of his advice. But essentially the first step is to save $1,000, and that's your emergency fund. And then the second step is to pay off all your debt. And this is the longest step that some people, depending on what your debt is, will stay years in. I'm on year 2 and still in baby step 2. Moving forward is really challenging. The easiest way that he suggests doing it is to list your debt lowest to biggest. Don't accumulate more. Don't use your cards. Stop using them. Pay off the minimum. Any extra payments that you have, you pay down your lowest one first, and then you snowball that payment into the next one, into the next, until you're completely done. And on paper, it sounds like it would take, I don't know, a couple months, but no, it does not. I find it really works. I really like dealing in cash. It was a bit of a struggle during the pandemic at the start because a lot of people didn't want to deal with cash. A lot of people were trying to work around that because of touching surfaces and things like that. And it's kind of more normalized again now. Some people don't like it because they don't want to keep that amount of cash hanging around, which is fine. We don't keep that much in the house. But I do find in the last year of doing it, I did find that it is more for people who have a good solid income and just don't know how to organize their money and how to spread it across to do what they need their money to do. It's not so much for people who their income doesn't cover debt, expenses, and savings at the same time. As an entrepreneur, I have my day job that means I have steady income, but then I also have all these different avenues of income that I'm trying to get going and trying to get them all to be very successful. But you get your highs and lows with everything else. It's hard to predict how much there's going to be from month to month. So I've kind of taken his teachings and spun it a little bit so that it works for me. One of my biggest things, and this isn't actually Dave Ramsay, one of the best pieces of advice that I've ever received or learned is that the best way to have lots of money is to have passive income. Most people who have over $1 million or continually make over $1 million have seven different streams of income. And a lot of those are passive. So that's my goal. That's where I'm heading. That's what I'm trying to achieve, is 7 different streams of income.
Wow. Holy smokes.
And most people only have one. Most people go to a job, they keep that job. Sometimes that job isn't bringing in what they need to bring in, so they add in one side hustle like DoorDash or Uber or something that they can go out and do. Whereas I'm trying to say, okay, that's 2, throw a few more.
Oh my gosh. 7 and raising kids? I don't know.
It's challenging right now in the phase that I'm in right now. Like currently I have different days of the week, looking at my calendar right now, and each 7 days of the week is focused on a different thing. Where Monday and Tuesday is for writing chapters in my book. Wednesday is podcast day because Wednesday at 1 we release the new episodes. Thursdays is for blogs. Fridays are for Etsy for new listings. It's a whole thing. There's a whole machine system running here.
Oh, you have to be organized.
Yeah. It is really hard. There's times where I think that things fall by the wayside. Like right now, my business Instagram, I think I've done 1 post in the last month. Trying to make it happen, man.
Wow. So we should have a competition who publishes their book first.
Ooh, what's yours going to be about?
Oh, I have a couple of things. I got a couple of things. The first one will be about...
The first one
will be about all the things, all the myth busting from Home and Garden Television. No.
No, you can't do that to other people. You already ruined it for me.
Yeah. Okay.
I was really into, which was the one that I was really into a couple of years ago.
Love it or list it.
Love it or list it. And then you came in with the behind the scenes knowledge. And it was just all through my head. Don't do it, man. Don't do it to these lovely people.
Okay.
It wasn't anything bad, just to clarify. It wasn't anything bad.
Nothing bad. No.
No.
So there you go.
And they're definitely entering other homes and looking at them.
Yes. And he is definitely a real estate person. For real.
Oh, okay. I thought you were being sarcastic.
No. He's a realtor.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Or no, I don't think we can call them real. He's a real estate agent. Realtor has been trademarked in some stupid.
Yeah, it has been. That was a big thing in the crafting world because a lot of realtors are looking to the new Cricut crafters to make welcome home gifts for them for when they sell the home. It's like a welcome sign or something like that. And they wanted to put like a little thing on it, but you can't actually write realtor, although it's only copywritten in all capitals. So you can write it with lowercase.
Oh my gosh. Well, and the realtor police obviously are going to be checking up. Oh, I know.
Well, they do come for you. The crafting world is no joke when it comes to like weird copywritten words and laws. Boy mom, don't mess with her.
Wait.
Because she's someone in the States who doesn't create anything but has trademarked certain terms and she makes her money from suing people from using that term. She does not create anything. And she trademarked boy mom. Do you know how many crafters? Yes. How many crafters start with boy mom, girl mom shirts and clothing and signs and things like that? If it's anywhere on the internet and she finds it, she will sue you.
She's either a genius or she's diabolical. Probably both.
I think both, probably. Yeah. But yeah, we should add that in. I've got a lot of insider secrets from the craft world.
Oh, well, I've got insider secrets from the home and garden world of television.
So guys, let us know if you want insider secrets on either of these things. I'm willing. Ask me anything. We'll do an AMA episode for craft secrets. I've been thinking about that. If we should do like a Q&A episode. I just don't know where people would put their Q's for us to A them. Where should the Q's go?
Yeah, that's a good blog. Facebook?
Probably the Facebook page would be the best because I think that's the one where most people are hanging out.
Okay.
So if you don't know, our Facebook page is OK, Mom Podcast. You can search it in
Wait,
Facebook.
I got to write that down. Hang on. Wait, it's okay, comma. Okay, or okay?
AY. Yes. Mom podcast, 2 different words. And then on the Insta, we are Okay Mom Podcast, all one word. And on YouTube, we are Okay, comma Mom Podcast.
But you can't see us. You can't see us there because we look
on
like
YouTube.
hacks.
It is still just the audio. I'm not brave enough to like put all these chins out there on the internet. I can't do it because I don't look at myself when I talk. I look at you, so I don't know what my face is doing. I'm sure it's not great.
Yeah, and I'm known for being expressionless.
Disagree. I think you have no poker face, and you know what? I don't either. I get it from you. My face just gives me away every time.
No, you can totally pull off a poker face. I can never play that game ever because I have
that is so kind of you to say because I've been told many times that my face just gives away every expression I'm feeling. Oh. If I'm talking to someone who I think is dumb, they know that I think that they're dumb. There's no hiding it.
Oh, well, I'm better at that because I try to smile my way through things or, be pleasant. You don't care about being pleasant. No.
That's the problem. Not my face. It's just that I don't care about being pleasant.
Yeah, you didn't get that from me.
Yeah, I just life's too short, man. If you're telling me a dumb story, I'm gonna tell you it's a dumb story. Don't repeat that one. That one's dumb.
Okay, now I have nothing to say. Yeah. All my stories are dumb.
No, I like your stories. It's the dumb people with the dumb stories that I don't like.
So, should we go through who didn't sponsor us for this episode?
No.
This episode was not sponsored by Peloton, and it wasn't sponsored by Grange Winery, which is www.grangewinery.com. And I just think people should go look there and just check it out because you can order the wines right off the website. And it's the only way to get it right now.
Listen, I'm totally happy to promote a mother-daughter winery.
Yeah.
Free or paid advertisement. I'm totally I'm on board with that one. I'll give them all the shout outs. I don't need anything in return for them. IKEA, however, if you're listening, we want that promo. Give me toddler beds, please. I need 2.
Yeah, send us a discount promo code that we can share with our listeners. Yeah, that's it.
No, that's the thing is I'm never the type of person, I don't want to take anyone's money. That's the thing is I want to work for money, but I'm the same way with any kind of like crafting advice, anything like that. I'm never going to charge for what I know just because I did the research and the time on that.
Hang on. You're cutting out a whole stream of income.
I know. And I have a lot of thoughts about it. We're in a time right now where people are creating a lot of courses and charging for things that they have learned on the internet. And I'm not a fan of that. I will never charge a friend to give them advice or say, here's what I've learned in my time of doing this. And I know that's a little backwards. I know that could very well be a stream of income, but I would rather elevate those around me so that we're all on the same level and we're all doing the same work and sharing knowledge. I think that's part of the human experience is that we're supposed to learn and share and exchange knowledge with one another. And I don't agree with monetizing that.
You're the best.
Wow. I'm such a giver.
Well, and I think we should always be raising each other up. And that's why I don't hesitate to encourage or, compliment or, there's so many great women that we know, great moms, great daughters. And, it's a relationship that can be up and down. And, I'm totally happy to promote and encourage and send some love to those people.
Yes, agreed. And on that note, I think we should leave it there. We should say our goodbyes.
Okay.
We love you and we encourage you.
Yeah. And we mean it.
If you need knowledge, you come to us.
No, don't. You won't learn anything here. But you'll get lots of love. So happy hump day, everyone. Okay. Love you, mean it. Bye.
Love you, mean it. Bye. See you next Wednesday.